wetin Dr. Abati dey talk, because that Dr. Abati, if you no want talk true, na so they dey very petty. Dr. Abati of Arise TV, if you no want talk the truth, because he's a politician, if you no want talk the truth, na so they very petty. If you want talk a matter, wherever you will see this video from, I want you to be patient and watch this video and tell me what you think, because I was so surprised saying that man come out, he not even know his history. Do you think the Omonoba Neto will come out from his stroke, go to Lagos and start telling Sowolu, the Lagos state governor, about the origin of Lagos? If that man want to find out about his history, why not go ask the Oba of Lagos? Make him know whether the way the Omonoba Neto talk, whether not true or not. Because you see, the reason why I came out and said our history that has been taken away from our school curriculum is a big problem, because most of us don't know our history, because the government choose to pluck us into darkness, because that's the only way they believe to continue with this corruption that they are doing. They choose to be blindfolded also that we will not know our history. And that history is one big issue that has tied down the progress of this country. I want to make una watch this video below. Make una tell me if wetin this man talk and wetin Dr. Abati they talk, because that Dr. Abati, if you no want talk true, na so they dey very petty. Dr. Abati of Arise TV, if you no want talk the truth, because he's a politician, if you no want talk the truth, na so they very petty. If you want talk a matter, I'm going to tell me what you think about this video at the comment section. I see you now.
The Oba of Benin, Oba Ewari, the second last week in Lagos, where he met with the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and congratulated him on his re-election. Well, the Oba's visit elicited several reactions, especially after he stated that Lagos was founded by the Benins, while the Balogun of Eko, Abisoye Oshodi, in a video now making the rounds on social media, disagreed with the Oba, stating that the Oba's ancestors only settled on a small land that was called Eko before the creation of Lagos, and forcefully imposed a tax system on the traders that were on the land. He further stressed that the Benins never founded Lagos. Well, let's take a quick listen before we come back for a discussion.
With all due respect to the Oba of Benin, Oba Atokpeye, sir, may you live long. Point of correction, sir. Lagos was never founded by the Benin. Lagos was never founded by the Benin. I'm glad that you said some part of Lagos, not all or the entire Lagos. Yes, you are right. Your ancestors settled on a small island that was called Eko then, before the creation of Lagos. And on this very island, they never created it. The island has been there before the arrival of your ancestors. Your ancestors only came and forcefully imposed a taxation system on transit with the traders on the land called Igoro, Idu Igoro, wherever that means in Benin, I do not know. But there has been other tribes on the island before the creation of Lagos. Even before the creation of Eko, we have the Aworis, we have the Isheri, we have the Olofin. So many tribes has been on Lagos, or the modern Lagos now, before the creation of Lagos State. If you want to allude to the assertion of the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Aremu Akiolu, that said that his ancestors was traced to the Benin. Yes, the man was right. If you want to talk about the Ashipas, the Ologukuteres, the Ados, the Erelukuti, they are limited to Isaleko, not Lagos in general. So a lot of people that are saying Lagos is no man's land, somebody created Lagos. No. Lagos has been, that island has been in existence before the creation of Eko and even the creation of Lagos State.
Well, Dr. Abati Rufai, it appears that Mr. Oshodi here is alluding to the fact that, Lagos was founded by a cocktail of settlers. I mean, it has elicited a lot of reactions. Let me take this reaction that I got recently. This person wrote the dates and periods he quoted are all long after the expansionist period of the Benin Empire, when Eko or camp was created and a superintendent left there by Benin army. This was during the expansion of the empire to far away Dahomey and beyond. The emotional display of this speaker does not address the history of the settlement correctly. For his information, the word Idu refers to the ancestral spirit of the Benin royalty. Well, I also found a French magazine recently. I mean, you know that history was taken away for a while, and a lot of people, you know, have some sort of misconception about the Empire of Benin. This is a French magazine, Nofi Media, and, you know, they talked about, you know, around the 10th century AD, a state known as the Kingdom of Benin was founded by the Edo in the southwest of present-day Nigeria, famous for its bronze plaques and portraits. It will pass between the middle of the 15th century and the 16th century from the status of a small state to that of an empire, one of the most powerful and prestigious in the history of pre-colonial Africa. I mean, there they pulled up a map of the Benin Kingdom showing where it is. Well, according to tradition, Benin was ruled by 2 dynasties. This is the second of them, which is showing Lagos. The dynasty traditionally presented as being of Yoruba origin, that of the Oba. The Oba dynasty of Benin would have emerged around the 13th century, shortly before a local leader, Evian, would have tried to found a new dynasty. However, the Edo kingmakers opposed it. In search of a new legitimate dynasty, they turned to Oduduwa. This was one of the Oni sovereign of the holy Yoruba city of Ife or Ile-Ife in present-day Nigeria. They asked him to send one of his sons to rule the country. I mean, you do see that map, and this was from Nofi Media back in 2014. Dr. Abati.
Well, number one, look, I'm a very busy and serious-minded person. I don't want to be responding to armchair historians.
Armchair historians, you call them.
The gentleman that spoke, maybe his bona fide is that he's Balogun Oshodi. What is the source of his history? Is it oral tradition, or is it based on emotional conception of the story? This is an old argument, and many historians have written on this. Philip Igbafe, professor of the Ibadan School of History, was one of the leading, writers on Benin history and, the interconnection of Benin history with other communities, including his book on Obaseki of Benin, Benin under colonial rule, British imperial rule, and all of that. And then you have the present Oba of Benin, Eware II, commissioning a more comprehensive book by contemporary historians from Benin, The Benin Monarchy, an anthology. That book is called. I was to review the book at the time they were going to present it publicly, but one thing happened or the other, I couldn't go to Benin. In other words, there are also people from Lagos who are professional historians who have written books on this subject. So, I mean, maybe what we really need is to leave the conversation to the academics. Otherwise, there will be no end to it. Lagos is no man's land. Lagos belongs to people of Isaleko. Lagos belongs to indigenous people. Half of the people commenting on WhatsApp and television, they are ignorant, and many of them are not even from Lagos. And from the testimony given by this fellow, he says even his own ancestors came from Nupe to settle down in Oshodi and played major roles in the history of Lagos. He even said the Tinubu family came from Borno State. Okay? But so Lagos State is a melting pot. It's a melding pot of many cultures, civilizations, and all of that. After all, in this same Lagos today, there are people who are not contesting Isaleko with anybody. Okay? But there are Egba Asia.
Yes.
There is a place called Abule Egba.
Yes.
And the Egba people, you can't go there and say you are an indigenous person. They say, no, this is for Egba people.
Yes.
And that, in fact, we were also major people in central Lagos. There are people here who are descendants of Brazilians.
Yes.
There are people here who are descendants of the Portuguese. Okay? Shomolu There's a place called Shomolu in this Lagos.
Is our
It's Ijebu people.
In fact, we have Odogolu Street in Shomolu.
No, Ijebu man. We agree with you if you say this place. So Lagos has grown over the centuries as a melting pot of civilizations, of cultures, and that is what makes Lagos special. So all this battle about indigenship and all that, I think we've gone beyond that. We should be focusing on how we can make Lagos a livable, prosperous place for all of us.
Yes.
Whether you are from Bini, or you are from Egbaland, or you are the Ijebu people in Shomolu, or you are from wherever, you know. So that I think is what is important. How can the blue rail line work? How can the red rail line work? How can people be happy living in Lagos? How can Lagos State live up to its classification as the 5th largest economy in Africa?
Well, Dr.
So all this
Martin,
ethnic baiting,
right,
you know, and all of that, and we are the owners of Lagos, and we are Ologun Kutere, and we are Oshodi Tapa, and all that. It sounds...
well, Dr. But I'll have to say, I mean, I think
anti-Lagos.
history is very important. I don't think that we should disregard the conversation.
I'm talking about history being important.
Yes.
In fact, the justification for that
Right.
is that, you know, history was removed from the curriculum.
That's what I said earlier.
I think they should begin to teach history.
Well, I think that they have...
so that people don't
back.
do armchair commentary.
Right. Like I was saying, I think it is so important because if you don't know where you are coming from, you wouldn't know where you are going. Yeah. So I think this conversation, even though it's quite sensitive, I think it is important for Nigerians to understand their history and know where they are coming from. I think that this is not the first time that we're hearing this, and it will not be the last time that we'll hear about it. Well, all right.